So now I want to show you something fun. Once you have even 3 or 4 terms clustered like that, like mathematics, like each one defined in terms of the others, that thing is now a kind of a theory, a small theory, but a theory. And that thing has life now. It can eat. So I call this feeding the theory. So what I do is I say to myself, all right, now that you have your theory, which is this thing that can insist even though it's not here, and you remember that's not a felt sense, right? I didn't have a felt sense of a better way. I only had this, there must be a better way, sort of. Okay, now tell me, what is a felt sense according to this theory? So I looked at it and I said, well, so if the thing is not here, then a felt sense is kind of like the first version of it that is here. Well, I think that's interesting. I may even keep that. But for the moment, I'm just illustrating that even a little theory can eat. See, it ate felt sense, and then you go like this, or maybe it's like a hamburger machine, and out comes something. And then you had this word how in the beginning. God knows how. That how, yes, yes. So I asked my little theory, what is how? And so then I find that since what isn't here can insist on spatializing, it's already happening before I know how, right? First, I have to let it happen, then I can ask how it happened. I didn't know how, but there wasn't going to be an answer to the how. First, it had to spatialize, it had to come. Then I could go look and see how it came. I like that because that's an old point of mine, but it came here in this fresh way. Then I had need in the beginning. So what's a need? So I decided a need is 2 steps not here. It's not only not here, but the not here that could spatialize is also not here. So a need is like something that cannot spatialize. Now, I don't mean that's true of every need, but every one kind of need, or one way of interpreting need, or one meaning that it has very often to people when they say, I need, is that they assume it's blank. The need cannot spatialize what is needed. The need cannot insist, cannot guide, cannot do anything. So that kind of need is 2 steps not here. See, because the not here that can create something is also not here. So I was very pleased with this, because a felt sense is the first step of come, and need is the step before this thing. So for just a quick demonstration, but it's quite exciting when you get your theory working, even the first 3, 4, 5 terms, then you can start to, what I call this deriving. You can start to derive most anything. Now what I do from here is I hook my other terms up. So I've just done that. I hooked up felt sense, and I hooked up how and need, and then I still have this anyhow connecting. That wasn't at all hard to hook up, because it was my experience that a more right way was a connecting. Then I'm done. Supposedly I've taught you step 12. Actually, that's the hardest one, because to get that to where you have an internal aha at every point is not so easy. So be happy but dissatisfied until all the links actually work.